What's up, guys? How's it going? It's me, Cam King, coming to you. Got I got my testimony I got to share with you, and I got some scriptures I want to share with you. Like I said, I used to be a former gang member. I started gang banging at the age of 14. I stopped when I was 24. Now, what caused me to stop gang banging was, well, the first time I stopped gang banging was because my mom and dad had moved me out of state because I was getting in so much trouble where I was at. I was getting in so much trouble. Like, people wanted to have me killed. People wanted my head, and I ain't know why, but I apparently caused the uproar where people wanted me like no more. So my mom and dad moved me to a different state so I could stay out of trouble, and I stayed out of trouble for a good 2 years. And then the sad thing happened when my mom and dad ended up passing. And so I got back into it, but it was different because when I got back into it, I learned from what I used to be back in the streets and what it took for me to get to where I was to be there. And I took all that and brought it here, and I just took off with it. I made my own book, my own knowledge book. I became my own OG, as you will. You know what I'm saying? I became my own OG, and I just started recruiting people. I already had 4 people that was down with me, and we just started recruiting people, and we became this big gang of people, and I had like 50 dudes up under me. And so that went on for like a good, I say my parents passed in '05. So from '05 all the way up to 2008, that's when I had stopped. But from then it was this, man, I went so downhill. And I told myself, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be the best gangster that's out there. I ain't taking crap from nobody. I'm going hardcore. And I did that. And I shot at people. I got in fights with people. I sold drugs. I was on drugs. I was chasing women. And, I was just doing all kinds of stuff. But I was out here in these streets, and I was just doing the wrong thing. And when you do those things, you reap what you sow. And I was sowing bad seeds, man. I was sowing bad seeds. It was just, and I didn't know this. I didn't know that I was doing it, but that's what I was doing. And I'm gonna share a scripture with you. Here it is. Galatians 6:7-8. And it says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh, shall the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit, shall the Spirit reap life everlasting." So I was out there reaping to my flesh. I was out here drinking. I was out here smoking. I was out here chasing women. I was out here fighting. I was out here selling drugs, getting into fights with people. I was out here manipulating people. I was out here putting fear in people's heart. I was doing all this stuff, man, and it was coming back to me, and I lost a lot of stuff. I lost a lot of good friends. I lost some friends that got killed, but in that moment, didn't nobody get killed, but the stuff that was happening was like, I didn't understand why it was happening. Like, why I was in these streets, why people were coming at me, why people trying to jump me and take my head off, why people trying to rob me. And I seen that happen when some guys was probably trying to rob me for my drugs, but it didn't happen. But I seen it. I seen like I had like an idea that's what they were trying to do, but it was just so much stuff going on. And man, it was my cousin. Man, look, bro, it was crazy, man. I ain't even get into that because that's too much details, and I don't want to put nobody under the bus. But I even got into it with family. I was beefing with family because I was in a gang. You know what I'm saying? And it took a while for that all to get settled, man. It took a while for me to settle that, but I was reaping these seeds that I was sowing. I was sowing bad seeds out here in this world. I had put 50 guys under me. I had like maybe 10 soldiers that I had go here, go there. You know what I'm saying? So it was this bad stuff I was putting out there. But I thank God that He had mercy on me and opened my eyes and allowed me to see that what I was doing was wrong. that it was no fruit coming from that. Nothing good was coming from that. And what I was sowing was going to cause me to die. It was going to cause my death. That's why he was showing me my dream, because I was so corrupted. I was corrupting so many people. I was beefing with so many people that the person that I thought was going to kill me and shoot me wasn't the person. That wasn't the person. It was one of my best friends, one of my trusted homeboys. You know, so, and I was thankful that God was showing me that dream to get up out of there. And I finally came up out of gang banging in 2008 because I had my son in 07, and I was at a party, and I'm sitting there just chilling, relaxing, like, yeah, whatever. And my son grabs my flag, and my homeboy said, yeah, killer. That's what they call me in the streets, killer. Yeah, killer. You might as well put him down. You the OG of the set. And I looked at my son, and I was like, man, nah, bruh. In my head, I was saying, it's like, man, nah, man. I don't want my son to go through what I went through. I don't want him to be out here in these streets trying to be the biggest and the baddest. I don't want him over there robbing that person trying to be the biggest and the baddest. I don't want him over here jumping this person trying to be the biggest and the baddest. I don't want him selling drugs trying to be the biggest and the baddest and make a come up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want him to go through that. So what I did was I took my son home that night, dropped him off. I called my peoples up. I'm like, look, man, I'm done. I'm out the game. If you want me, come and get me. And so I woke up the next day thinking like, yo, they gonna come for me. I'm just accepting it, One person came by, and I was like, yo, so I'm thinking like, okay, we about to brawl. So he about to knock me out, because he was a bigger dude. Well, me and him was the same size, but he had a little bit more meat on him. But he came up, he's like, yo, Cam, I respect what you. Why I understand. He said, I understand why you did what you did, and I respect it. And then he dapped me up, and I said, I appreciate it. And he just left. That was it. So that was me coming out of that, and I thank God I came out of it, because now I had a chance to raise my son and be in his life, and to tell him things and to teach him things, to teach him about love, to teach him about protection, to teach him about understanding. I was able to give him that. And I'm so proud of him, because he's 16 now, and he's living the life. His teenage life was like what I wanted to be. I admire that. Like, man, I wish I could have been that kid like you was. Then it wasn't involved in no games, none of that. But that, that's not how my life went. I chose a path, and my father, like I said, he was there, but he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it went. But, here I am now. Look what God did. And I thank God. And God was knocking at my door. He kept knocking. And that's one thing God will do. He'll keep knocking at your door until you open it. But don't let it be too late. And that's what God was doing to me. And I just got tired of it. I got so tired, man. And when I got tired, I found God, gave my life to God. And then here I am, man. From 2008 to 2023, I've been a Christian. And been trying my best to serve God and live the best way I can, man. But I wanted to share another verse with you. It's called the Straight Gate. You gotta make a choice. When God comes knocking, you got a choice you gotta make. And that choice is not easy. It is not an easy choice, but you gotta do a lot of soul search. You gotta look deep down in yourself and find out who you really are. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look and see, like, is this who I really truly want to be? So in Matthew 7:13-14, it says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So you see, that's a narrow way. The right way, do things right, is very narrow. To go about things the wrong way, the door is wide open. It's wide open, and that's the gate of destruction. But the gate to live your life right and to work hard for what you get and to go out here and try to make something of yourself is very narrow. People not seeing that because their mind not right. But we'll talk about that on the next video. All right, guys. Have a good one.